Well, the Phillies are one win away, one win into the season. 161 left in the season. Matty B's here to bring you all the Homer-esque type of news on a big win with a little unnecessary dramatics at the end. We'll get into that, of course. But welcome into the inaugural for the 2026 season, Fighting's Final. I'm Big Al. He is always Matty B. And the Phillies they start the season off with a win, a win with some real positives in it, Matty B. What do you think?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was a little concerned about the lineup. You're never going to sell me, even though it worked out well today. You're not going to sell me ever on a lineup that features Bryson Stott batting fifth, or Alcone batting fourth, or even JT Realmuto batting eighth. But it seemed to be the magic formula today, as they all did their job, and obviously the MLB debut of Justin Crawford. Fell one grand slam short of being an instant success. I was really hoping that he would have not so much hit a home run in that situation late, but put one down the line, clear the bases type thing.
Get his first ribby of the season.
That would have been nice. That would have been nice. But it was a good game.
It'll work one day, maybe 2 days, maybe a month. God only knows. But I agree with you. The lineup is still it's very irksome. It is a good way of putting it. I will not stop pleading until we see Kyle Schwarber in the 4-hole. But I guess until then, a win's a win is a win in this case. And the Phillies start off with a big win. We got to see a little bit of everything. Christopher Sanchez dazzles again. 6 innings, just no runs scored again. Kept guys off balance the whole time. He makes it look effortless. And even with his bonus or his upgrade in his contract, whatever you want to call it, he is still sorely underpaid.
Yeah, no, I agree. And he was dealing today, man. 10 strikeouts. He really had them off balance. I don't think there was ever an opportunity in the game that the Rangers were even in this thing offensively. It was just Sanchez just overpowering them. He was pulling the right strings for the right pitches. JT called a great game. And I was a little, not concerned about Sanchez coming, but he did not have the most stellar of springs that looked too good in the WBC. But you're right. Coming in there with that big contract, maybe could have had a little extra pressure on himself for all that, but he definitely answered the bell today. So,
hey, maybe he's just one of those guys that do well in a Phillies uniform or for the Phillies, in the real game. I mean, he has that ace mentality, but not like full of himself either. Like he always knows he might be second fiddle with Zach Wheeler on this team at this point, and he knows he's definitely 27th fiddle with his contract, but he's getting paid. I said up until they did his contract extension, Amundo Sosa is getting paid more this year than he is.
Yeah, and 2 years ago he was the fifth starter and a fringe guy at best in this rotation, and he's worked his way up into the ace in 2 seasons. I mean, I
think it was a blue claw 2 years ago. Was it 23, 24? He was a blue claw. He was he's a story, man. He is an MLB story. He is kind of like this silver lining, the bright sunlight shining through sometimes the dark clouds of Philly sports. I mean, over the last, since 2022, I mean, we've had our ups and downs. We've had our close calls, but and then we've had our many letdowns. But the one thing that's been tried and true is Christopher Sanchez continues to turn heads. And I can't say enough good things about call him the kid, right? I mean, he's 20 years old.
Yeah, and again, with the way this season has started, Zach Wheeler, who, by the way, will get a start on Saturday. Hey, listen to this, man. Up in Lehigh this weekend, they opened their season on Friday. You got Wheeler pitching Saturday, and replacing Wheeler on Saturday's game is going to be Kirkering. So you got two Phillies pitching back-to-back in the Saturday game up in Lehigh. Tomorrow night's their home opener. But, Sanchez, with the way the uncertainty of the rotation heading into the season with Zach Wheeler and Aaron Nola and the unknown of Andrew Painter, it is very good to feel that and know you could turn that ball over at least one time out of 5 days and expect that type of performance. And that goes a long way in a 162-game season.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the fact that you don't have Zach Wheeler, you're not sweating it. Anybody else?
Right, yeah.
I mean, like last year when it went down and it all came to fruition that he was going to be out and he was going to need a thoracic outlet surgery and, had to remove his rib and all that stuff. I was still don't say hopeful. Like I was like, that's a huge kick. Don't get me wrong, to the chops, but I didn't think that completely wrote off the Phillies. Any other team, that's writing somebody off almost.
Yeah,
If we had Zach Wheeler in that rotation against the Dodgers, what a world of difference that could have made.
Yeah, if we get Wheeler back, and again, I've always maintained this. I don't really care if Wheeler doesn't show back up until about June or July. Honestly, I don't, because I'd rather have a fresh, rounding into form Zach Wheeler come late September, early October than sort of a gassed out Wheeler at that time. So the more you can kind of, make excuses not to get him back in the rotation because the rotation's holding their own, which I think they will. I think it's better for the Phillies. And just think about this conundrum for the Phillies heading into potential postseason play in 2026. Yes, I'm getting way ahead of myself, but you're going to come out with a rotation that's going to feature Wheeler, Sanchez, Nola, Luzardo. I mean, that's coming at you every turn of the base pad. You're going to run into somebody that belongs there.
If Andrew Painter turns out to be a solid pitcher alone this year, just a solid pitcher.
Absolutely.
Taijuan Walker has one of the best ERAs coming out of spring right now. Like, it's kind of crazy if you think about it.
Absolutely.
But Christopher Sanchez, 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 4 runs, 0 walks, 10 Ks. That's right. I think the betting line was 6 Ks.
It was
for him. So, yeah, he went 4 strikeouts over the top of that. He had those 2. He let up those 2 hits he got the 2 outs, I should say, in the first inning. Let up 2 hits after that. You're like, oh, hopefully, we're not looking at Paul Skeens type stuff over here. But he, got the next guy out. One other hit after that, and it was smooth sailing pretty much until the bullpen came in. We'll get into that in a little bit in a moment.
Yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, the back-to-back singles in the first, that was the threat. That was it. That was all they could muster really against him in the 5 innings that he was in there for, whatever, 5 innings, right? He went 5 today?
Yeah, 6.
In 6 innings, he was in there. That was it. Two first inning singles was all they could get against him. Can't ask for anything better than that.
No. The only thing you could ask for is one of those Schwarber bomb Sundays, maybe to go along with it, just to top it off. But for those who are just joining us, maybe who don't know who we are, welcome into the Fighting's Final. It's a Rap Sports Network. As I said, he's Matty B. I'm Big Al, and this is not normally a duo show. It's usually a solo run show, but we always do this for the home opener. It's kind of like a me and Matty B tradition to open it up. See how things are going, but from here on out until the postseason, you'll be seeing either me, Matt, or Mike. I think Mike's on the call tonight for the Flyers post-game show. Is that correct?
He is. He's on the call for the Flyers tonight. He's on the call for the Phillies on Saturday. I'm on the call for the Flyers on Saturday. I'm on the call for the Phillies on Sunday, and he's on the call for the Flyers on Sunday.
The next 10 days are going to be interesting, to say the least.
I ain't going to cry if the Flyers don't get any points this week. I'm not really going to shed much of a tear. I'm sorry to say that.
No, that's a little selfishness, but it is what it is. But the point is, the Phillies win, and there's other. Let's look at the small storylines with it. Let's go line by line real quick here. Yeah. Trey Turner, just listen. We had the whole Trey Turner came from here from the Dodgers, WBC. It was a lot of just fireworks in the WBC that year, and then it was crickets for most of the year up until about August. And even the postseason wasn't really much to write about that year. Second year came out sluggish, but since the middle of that year, he has been just tried and true. Won the batting title last year, and he just picking up right where he left off from. 2 for 4, 2 runs, and 0 strikeouts. Starting off with a 500 average to begin the season doesn't suck too much. Kyle Schwarber, go ahead, bud. Sorry.
Yeah, no. Listen, I know the lineup is going to be a thorn in people's side all season long. It is. And how many, we've spent time on this show. We spent on time on other shows. And one of the 2 biggest rally points has always been back Kyle Schwarber fourth. And then for those that might have forgotten, the batting Trey Turner leadoff, that was an argument for a couple of years. They weren't doing that. He wasn't leading off because it was Schwarber leading off. And then it broke through last year. I think close to 100 games he let off last year, and it looks like he's entrenched in that position right now. And say what you want about Trey Turner. And say about the contract. Is it too long? Yeah. Okay. At the time of his life versus the time they gave him, it's probably not going to end well. But you're getting solid contributions from the leadoff spot. You got a fringe all-star. You got a professional baseball player leading off and playing shortstop for this baseball team for at least maybe the next 3 years. So I'm not going to, I am not anti-Trey Turner at all. I think it was a great move.
No, I think it was, and you had to pay a little bit in the beginning, to put up with some of the rocky start. But ultimately, I think you should be happy at this point with the contract. And like I said, outside of his sometimes defensive woes, I mean, he's getting a leadoff type Jimmy Rollins type player in this way. I mean, I hate giving comparisons, but I mean, he can hit a home run when needed to be. He can get on base when you need to be, which he did, which led to Kyle Schwarber in one foul swing to make it 2-0 to start off the season with a 2-run Oppo Boppo jack there to make it 2-0 quickly for the Phillies, putting the pressure on the Rangers and Evolia too, I guess, because you don't want to start off that way. And the last time Kyle Schwarber in a Phillies uniform hit a home run in his first at bat in the season, Phillies went to the World Series.
Yeah, he did against the A's back in 22. You're right. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So, I mean, he was 1 for 4 with a run scored, two RBIs, and a strikeout. Kyle Schwarber with his 250. Bryce Harper not having kind of putting things out there that he wants to take more at bats. Or take more pitches at his at bats. 0 for 4 today with 2 strikeouts. Not the best start for Bryce Harper, but
No. We're not going to this. He looks slow. Bryce Harper looks like he cannot catch a fastball.
Listen, I'm not.
He had hittable pitches today, and he missed them. He had hittable pitches today. They weren't junking him. He swung at a couple bad ones. But he had a couple up in his wheelhouse, especially in that 5th inning at bat. And I want to get into that little scenario a little bit later in the show. But in that 5th inning scenario, he had 2 right up in the zone that he completely overswung.
No, you're not. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm
just going to shoo this as I'm concerned about Bryce Harper. I really am. I'm very concerned about his swing right now.
Okay, it's fair enough. I mean, you should be somewhat concerned. I mean, I'm not sitting there, lighting the house on fire because at game 1 he went 0 for 4. But I get what you're saying. I'm getting what you're saying because he just seems to kind of like a diesel engine. Needs to warm up a little bit more before he gets going. And we, to be clutch, you need to be able to go at any moment in time. We talked about that with the WBC hit. Alec Boehm, one in the 4-hole, which was not ideal for most people.
Hit of the day.
Yeah.
Crushed that. Another opposite field shot, 3-run, pretty much the difference in that. Actually, yeah, the difference in that game.
Yeah, Oppo Boppo again, 3-run jack. Pretty much sent a volley to the showers at that point. With three at bats, he's 1 for 3, 1 run, 3 RBIs, and a walk. Gets a nice starting average for the season. Little news about him. We'll get in that at the end of the news. Yes, some breaking news story. In the middle of the game, the Inquirer decided to drop the news. We'll get into that a little bit after it because you can't just sweep it under the rug. I just like how they dropped it like an hour and a half left in the game. Bryson Stott, 2 for 4 tonight with a strikeout. Not bad. I know it's not where you want him in the 5th hole, but if he can hit like that in the 2-hole, I'd be happy. Like I don't know about you guys, like consistently, of course.
Listen, again, the whole concept of him batting 5th, 2 for 4, I can't shake a stick at that. That was a very productive day for anybody batting anywhere. And what he did also provide interesting late innings in that hole was he got on base and he stole a base, and he created another conundrum for the defense to deal with the kind of the back end of the heart of the lineup coming up. So listen, I want more production. I want max RBI opportunities for my hitters who are supposed to be those types of hitters. And I don't know if Bryson Stott can continue. Again, do you? And I'm asking you honestly, for 162 games, batting 5th, is that somewhere where you see him being?
No, absolutely not. I would rather, like I said, I'd rather see him in the 2-hole or further down the line. Like I don't want to see him anywhere 3, 4, 5, or maybe 6 at most, maybe 6 to 9, or or put him in the 2 hole. Like that's the only where I want to see him. Like that's
yeah,
exactly.
I wouldn't mind 2. Yeah,
I mean,
2 might be a spot for him. Yeah,
yeah, because you got the top of the order with 2 really speedy guys, and yet Crawford, who puts a 9-hole guy who has plenty of speed. I mean, to be honest with you, outside of like maybe Bohm and Garcia, you have plenty of speed on the base path.
Yeah,
but we'll talk about that more. That's what this team, I'm going to continue to be my mantra, is needs to manufacture runs, needs to put pressure on the pitcher when they're on base, but get on base. And steal bags. It's some old school baseball, maybe. I think that's one thing where we won't disagree. And old school baseball could be like,
you got the wrong manager for that.
No, that's next guy making his Phillies debut, Adolph Garcia, who one of 2 guys who had no hits today, or one of 3 guys, I should say, 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. I don't know if they knew how to pitch against him with his former team, but he looked off more than Harper did. He looked like he had some balls left in the zone he could have crushed. He looked like he was trying to send a message to his team in one fell swing, and maybe that's what it was. Maybe he just needs his day off to look back at it and go, all right, bud, what do we do? We made these changes. We need to calm down. We need a better pitch selection.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? What did you see from Garcia?
Yeah, no, that's a great analogy, and you saw how the Rangers were attacking him. They were busting him inside all game long, and then when they did lay something out over the zone, he was completely. I think he was completely confused by it. The Rangers knew how to pitch against him for obvious reasons, and they used it correctly. And you're right. I think maybe he was a little bit amped, a little bit looking forward to sort of showing the fans of Philadelphia that their investment was wise, and that there's no need to miss Nick Castellanos because I'll do just fine. I think it was a combination of those things.
Against his former team, probably adds a little extra sauce to that. Brandon Marsh, 2 for 4, right?
Double.
With 1 strikeout. JT is the only one of the other 3 guys who did not get a hit today. He was 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, and Crawford, I think, probably the story of the day from outside of Bohm. And I mean, of course, Bohm and Schwarber's RBIs are what made the game what it was. But Crawford debut with his father and about 39 other people of his family members, and taking up a whole section at Citizens Bank Park. 2 for 4, 1 run scored. Had an opportunity, as you said earlier, to maybe drive in a run and get his first. He got his first hit and his first pitch thrown to him in major leagues. So we were hoping maybe get his first ribby when the bases are loaded. Did not happen. I think he was a little amped up at that moment. Matty B, what did you see?
Oh no, yeah. In that moment, in the late in the game with the bases loaded, yeah, you could definitely see he wanted to put his name up there in lights, and that is for what it is. But Crawford today was an arrival of not just Justin Crawford, but a rival of patience, of waiting. It seemed like for an eternity for the minor leagues to produce something of quality. And we finally we saw that today. We'll see it in about 4 days from now when Painter makes his debut. That's sort of the other level of this. And his play, as you mentioned, I don't care. Al, I don't care if he doesn't hit. I don't care if he never hits the ball in the air all season. I really don't care. Puts it on the ground, put it in play, and make things happen.
3 or 4 guys I'm okay with. Schwarber, Harper, Garcia. If you want to hit in the air, go right ahead. The rest of them, don't even try. Just get the ball and play.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to win you games, and it's going to serve you well, and it's going to put the MLB on notice. If this team could figure that out with the pitching, we'll put the MLB on notice. So Christopher Sanchez is the first Phillies pitcher with 10 strikeouts on opening day since Kurt Schilling in 1997. A little fun fact for you guys tonight. Like he said, dominated 6 innings. They put a pitch count on him. I think he said it was going to be like 85, 90 pitches or something like that was it. But I love how you put it.
87. So
he went 87, so he got right in there between there.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, listen, I hope Justin Crawford gets the second day to look at this stuff, kind of takes the energy down, but I want to keep up that youth. There's a thing about the youth injection that it brings, to these other guys. I think it reminds the older guys you can actually have fun doing your job, playing your game. And I think that brings a little bit of that with it.
Totally 100%. And, I'm going to save this next little point that I want to make about Crawford till the Broad Street Bottom Line segment. But there's one thing that has to be in lockstep with what Justin Crawford brings to this baseball team in order to unlock it fully. And that's Rob Thompson's ability to be aggressive on the base pads. There was a chance in this game in the 5th inning, a golden opportunity for some confusion on the base pads, and the Phillies weren't interested in doing any of it. And that is the manager's job. That's the that's coming from him. He's the one making that decision. That concerns the living hell out of me. But so far especially with Crawford, this is exactly what I was looking for from him. This is the exact type of player I want him to be. But we need Rob Thompson to actually manage like he's got a set of testicles when Justin Crawford's playing in the game.
Listen, I think Rob's MO is a more cautious manager. I mean, it's exactly what it is. And at times you have to, it's like anything. You can't always swing for the fences, but times you're going to have to, right? Well, I think as a manager, you have to have the same mentality. Like, you got to look at the moment. I'm going to take a big swing at this. There's an opportunity that this could turn into something. If nobody ever did that, you'll never see a home run in baseball. So I agree with you. He needs to. Like I said, that's where I come in with the manufacturing runs. You need to put some chaos on this pass. Like, just get a Voldy, get any of the pitchers up there having to look over their shoulder a bunch of times, because every time you got to do one of these, you got to reset your eyes, and that means you're either going to leave one in the zone or you're going to leave it outside the zone, and it's going to even make it. It's going to help the batter that's up at bat. So there's such a mental aspect of this game that people need to have. So let's talk. We talked about pitching. Let's talk a little bit about it here further. As we mentioned, Christopher Sanchez, just a great start. Nobody's had 10 strikeouts in an opener since 1997 with Kurt Schilling. Bolin comes in, 1 inning pitched, 1 hit, but knocks everything down. Pop, he kind of made it because Kerkering, in my eyes, was injured. I didn't know if he looked like he really couldn't find the strike zone, to be honest with you.
No.
We'll
leave it at that. No, you're right. He's here because Kerkering's hurt. I mean, that's the bottom line.
Yeah. He has the know-how, the ability, but a la Cookie Romano, I don't know if it's still there.
So the spirit was willing, but the body was not. Is that it?
Buckus came in and he was he struggled.
Yeah.
This game should have been a 5-0 shutout. It really should have.
Yeah, the back end of the bullpen should have had the day off. I agree.
Yeah, Duran should have never had to come in.
Yeah,
Duran had to come in, but Duran should have never came in. In 1/3 of an inning, he let up 3 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned, and let up 1 big home run with a whopping 81 ERA to start the season.
Last time I saw it was 54. It went up to 80. Yeah, it is 81. Holy crap. Yeah, I saw it at 54 a few minutes ago.
Yeah. I think he actually outdid the ERA of Paul Skeens today.
Oh, my God. Holy. I watched that happen. And listen, for those that watched that game or heard about Paul Skeens getting removed in the first inning, there were 2 fluky plays in that first inning that cost the Pirates and cost Skeens. There's some defensive blunders. But no, his stuff was working well. He was throwing fire, but the Pirates didn't back him up behind him. But no, Backus, and I know he's people are giving. What's that?
O'Neal Cruz.
Oh yeah. I don't know what the hell he was doing out there. Well,
I don't think he did either. So it's okay.
Was it the sun? I mean, did he get confused about his son? I don't know. And by the way,
put it this way: it was bad enough. It was bad enough that Joel Embiid is tweeting about you. That's how bad it is.
Yeah, now you're falling hard if that's happening. But props to the Pirates, though. And Brandon Lowe, he hit 2 home runs in this game. They got the coolest home run prop that I've seen so far. A Steelworkers welding helmet that they give their guys. They come in and donate it to them by an actual steelworker who worked for 40 years in a Pittsburgh steel plant. That's outstanding. I love that. That so far is the number 1 home run prop that I've seen.
It's actually very smart. You don't like the jacket some guys wore. Like, some of the stuff was like routine, like ridiculous. Like, they had like full outfits on them. Like, all right, guys. Well, the Italian team was taking shots of espresso, which was probably burning hot, scalding their esophagus when that was going on. Like, seemed like a good idea in my head, but like getting it going was probably not the smartest. But like we said, Duran had to come in to finish it up. 2/3 innings pitched, 1 hit. He did score did cross, but it didn't go on his ledger, of course. With 1 strikeout, shutting the game out for a total 9 innings pitched, 8 hits allowed throughout all the and 3 of them came from 6 of them came from Sanchez and Buckus, but 3 runs, all 3 earned, all same guy as well. 1 walk, 11 Ks on the day.
Yeah,
10 of them from Christopher Sanchez.
Joe Hale says this interesting comment. Backus needs to be moved up in the bullpen. He is up in the bullpen, Joe. It was 5-0. This was garbage time. They were just throwing people out there to get some work. This was not the bullpen rotation. This. You always do this in a game like that. You've always put the long guy in or the middle guy in a situation like
when the things are loose.
Yeah, because you want to conserve those back end guys for later games. And
you still have Alvarado, Banks, and Keller. And was it Meza?
Yeah.
The other guy?
So they were going in order. The reason why Zach Pop pitched today and Backus pitched today, and maybe not so much Bolin, but the reason why those guys pitched was because of the score at the time. And I'm not blaming Robbie for a pitching decision to bring in Backus.
Same thing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna use Keller in this game at 5-0. I'm not.
Now I know tomorrow is a day off, so you're like you could have, but if you start needing these guys and these, you never know what's going to happen.
Everything matters. Yeah.
By the way, did you hear the broadcast so Zach Wheeler, as we know, is getting a start, or 3 innings or whatever up in with the Pigs, as you mentioned earlier. They're having a all-you-can-eat rib night for him
to honor him in his rib.
Yeah.
Joe Hale actually broke that news to me yesterday because he's going to that game.
Oh, is he? Dude, it's a good listen. It's only an hour away. I mean, it's not like it's far for us. I mean, but the funny thing is, you hear John Crockett goes, "I hope it's not his actual rib." If you don't love John Crockett, I don't think I can be friends with you. It's like that's how I feel about things. But overall, I mean, outside of the Buckus debacle, it wasn't always pretty, but the job was done, right? In an important game, in a close game, he doesn't see the light of day.
Not in that situation, not in the 9th inning, maybe in the 4th inning or the 3rd inning or 5th inning. Hey, let me ask you this. Does a rib buffet sound appealing to you at a baseball game?
Well, it's for the team. It's not for.
No, I think it's for the people.
I don't think you're putting out a rib buffet for a.
Joe Hale, are you listening? Is it a giveaway type item?
That would be. How expensive that would be.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was under the impression it was for the people.
Hold on, I'm going to pull this up. Iron Pigs rib night. Let's see if it comes up.
But does rib sound appealing to you at a baseball game? Either way?
So they're hosting the Rehab Rib Night. That's what it's called. Rehab Ribs Night. Saturday, March 28th at Coca-Cola Park in honor of Zach Wheeler. The event features an all-you-can-eat rib buffet from 3 to 6 in the Capital Blue Cross Tiki. Okay, you say, yeah, it is.
It's for the people.
Yeah, but do you have to pay for it or just the price of admission? Because that's expensive. And to answer your question, hell yeah, brother.
Isn't it too messy for a baseball game?
Well, if you're up in the terrace, like if you're up in like a suite or whatever, have you ever been to the Coca-Cola Stadium? I mean,
like 10 times. Yeah, of course. Yeah,
but if you're in the right spots, I mean, if I'm sitting there in the seats and like,
that's my point. That's my point. Hey, pass the slaw, man. I mean, come on. Does that even sound appealing?
Dude, an all-you-can-eat rib night. Sign me up anytime, man.
Well, yeah, it's too late.
I'm not going to wear my good jersey.
Okay, all right, yeah.
But my point is, dude, I'd actually wear like a jersey like somebody I don't like anymore and just like start rubbing my hand.
Your Castellanos jersey?
My Castellanos jersey. I think I got one too. But I mean, overall, what a really good opening day. Outside of the Rob, how are we doing, my friend? Outside of the Buckus buffoonery, this was a really good opening day for the most part. Outside of a couple guys not getting their hits. Again, I'm not going to run and screaming day one, but I always say this: Bryce Harper gets going, this team will go. That's just as far as he'll take it. Like you said it before. He might not be as elite as he is, but he is still a great player. And
well, no, I've said he is elite. It's the clutch thing that I need to see more of.
Yeah. Okay.
And today he didn't come up clutch. And again, I want to talk about that a little bit later on.
$10? What a freaking steal, bro. I might
Well,
just drive
10, okay, hang on. 10 times 20,000, because the place seats about 20, right? Is that about 20,000 people getting there?
Say you're going to get 5,000 of them.
Okay.
So because if it's up on a terrace, you can't get the whole stadium in there.
Would you? I'd pay the $10 for a rib buffet.
Oh yes,
I'd pay $10 baseball game.
Oh, ribs, dude. Oh, I mean that's cheap just from a rack of rib standpoint. I'm trying to see if they tell you anything more about it. Yeah, it just says on. That's it. They don't really give you more. That's about it. But that's cool. It's like way to play into it a little bit.
Absolutely, and it fits in with the pork theme of the pigs, right?
Oh yeah, I got my bacon hat. You see me? I'll be wearing.
I got my scrapple hat. I mean, yeah.
Did you see the Blue Claws? They're the Jersey Tomatoes.
Is that one of their gimmick names for
the new thing this year? Like they put tomato hats out.
Yeah.
Funny thing is, I like those hats. Like I love the Blue Claw hats. I don't know why. The blue and the yellow. I got two different ones. I love them.
Are they putting like the Jersey Tomatoes? Are they going to incorporate the crab at all into it, or is it just a tomato?
No. See, it's almost like they all do this. This is a very minor league team thing.
Yeah,
it's almost like having 3 teams for the price of one.
No, I know all the minor league, and I love that. That's one of the beautiful things about the minor leagues. They'll come up with, like for example, I've done some work with the Syracuse Mets over the course of the last couple of years, and for a piece at the end of the season, they turn their name into the Syracuse Salt Potatoes. And that's what they are for like a week. And they had salt potato uniforms, hats, everything is salt potato for a week. So I love that aspect of minor league baseball because there's some, first of all, they're funky names to begin with. Then they get even funkier with some of these gimmick names. And it's really cool.
Matt Gelb, he tweeted this out and I think this is spot on. Phillies 5-3, Phillies 5, Rangers 3, 8 great innings, then a hairy 9th inning. Giving everyone something to complain about. A perfect Philly opening day. I mean, it was too smooth. We'd be like, come on, what are we going to talk about here?
And the warmest ever opening day in the modern era of Phillies baseball.
I have to. So here's the thing. I heard them say that, and here's my thing about that, Matt. I have been to every opening day from 2008, 2007, up for at least to probably 2020, like 2019. So they knew it worked to put me in off for that day. Like that was like they would always look at when we turned the calendar for our schedule. They would look at when is Philly's home opening day, and they just put Al not here, so they knew not to schedule me anything or something like that. And then when 2020 came around, the kids got a little older, and it's just a little tougher for me to get out. And the game, with my job, it's hard for me to like leave early. Like I left early today. I told them I'm leaving early. I'm not sticking around. I'm going to be home for the game. I have plenty of ones where I remember getting sunburn. I mean, there's times it's cold as hell. I mean, it's March. It could be winter. It could be spring. It could be summer sometimes if March really wanted to. I'm just like, so what? 72 is the warmest, huh? I just feel like it's been there before, but I'm going to take their word for it.
Yeah. Now, I heard some people saying this morning that it was projected to be 78 as the high today. Did it ever get that high?
I don't know.
Did it feel like it did?
I mean, when I was outside, it was a beautiful day. I mean, actually, the thing that really annoyed me, I said to my wife, I said, I wish like it wasn't so cold and rainy the last few days before, because I would have wanted to clean off my deck stuff and sit out on my deck and watch this game. Like this would have been a great game. So
it was deck weather.
It was definitely deck weather.
Oh, okay.
All right, guys. So let's do this. Let's take a trip down the old Broad Street bottom line here. All right, guys. Broad Street bottom line brought to you by the It's a Wrap Sports Network. For those who are new to the Titans final, this is year 5,
season 5.
For those who are new to the final, the Philly, the bottom line is pretty much our bottom line takeaways from the game and bottom line for the team moving forward. So I will let Matty B go first because I know he already had this one lined up. So Matty B, what is your Broad Street bottom line?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And before I do that, Michael Papernick says, I'm a fat guy at heart. Y'all, you can eat ribs. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes. I mean, I don't care if you're a fat guy or not. It's actually not a bad meal. I mean, it's all meat protein.
What are they going to give you, like 3 pieces? Well, it's a buffet, so that means you can go back and get more, right?
Eat buffet. So, yeah, they might give you 3 or 4 ribs, but you got to go back. Now, here's the thing is, this is probably how they get you. The line's probably going to be ridiculous. So you're going to have to sit there and wait in line for like 20 minutes. Yeah. And by that time, you might only get to hit the buffet 3 or 4 times. So.
Now, you were in the stadium cooking world for a little while, not doing you weren't working down there for, general services, flipping burgers, but what kind of preparation do those, do they cook it or do they cater it? What do you think they're going to do?
So now it depends on the inside. When I worked at the Link, we had a smoker the size of my basement. It's like a walk-in smoker, dude. It was it's like a rotation thing, like a big long, imagine like a 5-6 foot long table, right? But it's like grated, and then you would put the meat on there, and then it would start moving up, and then you would put more meat on there, and just keep slowly turning.
Industrial size smoker.
Oh yeah, it would smoke a ton of meats at like one time, and now this was just for the Link. I took care of just the suites, right? Like you said, we didn't do regular concessions. Yeah. So the team, the cheerleaders, the suites, the owner's box, dude. I was in charge of. You go here, like Maddie B. You go to here, you go there. I always made sure I took care of I was the one who took care of the locker room, the owner's suite, and the press, the TV booth.
That's the moneymaker right there. But what do you think they're gonna have to do with start cooking on Friday night? I mean, how does one even prepare something like that?
Put it this way, just for the suites, on a 1 o'clock game, I had to be there at 3 in the morning.
Man, screw that.
To prepare just regular food.
It's going to be a lot of work.
So, listen, I'm sure they're going to prep some way. And they might not even smoke them because that might take longer. They just might cook them in ovens, like a giant industrial ovens, because you don't have to cook ribs on a smoker.
No, you can pressure cook them, right? And get them nice and tender?
I'm sure you can. I've never pressure cooked ribs, and it just seems a little blasphemous to me, but I've done them on the grill. I've done them in an oven before.
And gotten them tender, though? Fall off the bone tender?
Yeah, and here's the thing: is this fall off the bone tender thing's a little. It's actually not that. It's actually better when it doesn't fall off the bone. You want it to be able to pull out. You want to see the meat kind of curl up the bone.
Okay,
that's what you want to see. You don't want it just to fall apart because then it's too tender and the other stuff's not cooked well enough. You want it to seep through and become homogenized. That's what you want. But there's your cooking lesson for the night. But Matt,
we got on this. Let's do some Broad Street bottom line. So kind of building off of what I saw about Justin Crawford, you saw sort of what this could mean for this team. And I've said this, said it during the pregame or the preview show we did. He may not be a complete change in the DNA of this team, which I think they definitely need, but he's a step in that direction. And it actually occurred in this game. In the 5th inning, Crawford gets a single. Turner gets a single. You got first and second, nobody out. And you got the heart of the lineup coming up. And in this case, your 2-3 hitters and Schwarber and Harper. This is what Justin Crawford brings to this team. A way to flip over that lineup and get a situation like they had today. But this is also where you need a manager that has balls. Turner and Crawford, probably your 2 top base stealing threats on this baseball team, did not do anything other than stand on their bases and allow Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber to strike out in back-to-back plate appearances, which they got to do better too. But as you mentioned, getting some confusion and chaos on those paths, it goes a long way. Now, granted, you got to be careful because they do a double steal. You take the bat out of Harper's hands, they put him on. But still, then you got a situation where you got Kyle Schwarber coming up with bases loaded and nobody out. Robbie's got to do better. He had an opportunity to show Major League Baseball and the world what Justin Crawford can provide to this baseball team, and he failed in Game 1 to do that. And I kept waiting. Is this the pitch? Is this the pitch? Then when it was just Crawford on the bases, I'm like, okay, is he? And the thing at Turner at 0-2, I saw a pitch out potential coming. They didn't do it, but Crawford never indicated he was stealing. Then you get Turner and Crawford on the bases, and they did nothing. That scares me because that's how you manufacture runs, Al. That's how you do it. Small ball. You cause chaos on the base paths. You got a guy in Crawford that can do that. You saw what Crawford and Turner can do when they're batting back to back and they both get on base. The Phillies failed in that moment. Rob Thompson failed in that moment, and that's my biggest takeaway, because the bottom line for me is Rob Thompson, the X factor. How much is that going to count against us in 2026?
Well, as you said, and we've talked about numerous times, I'll go with my bottom line is I'm going to agree with you, not just agree with you, but I'm going to take it another level. If this team is to, I want to say reinvent themselves, but to stop being the long ball or nothing, which, again, home runs will come. This team will hit home runs. You cannot not hit home runs with Kyle Schwarber on your team. It's just not going to happen. But if you get guys on base, these home runs turned into 2-run home runs, 3-run home runs, not solo shots, right?
Yep.
His RBI total is going to go up. That's really the number you want to see go up. If this team learns a little small ball and learns to take some, listen, I said it earlier, this team has a ton of speed on the base pass outside of maybe 2 or 3 guys who start. So 6 out of the 9 guys who can run, who come to bat, got some speed behind them, even our catcher, okay? So let's just put that out there. So if they can get that going, if they can get this going, they will put the MLB on notice, right? They will. I don't care. The Dodgers, you're going to put the MLB on notice that this is the new and improved Phillies team, and that we are not a one-trick pony, and that all you have to do is just throw us something that we're not going to be able to hit out of the park. Getting on base be damned. And a couple small moves in the lineup. Hey, listen, if you're going to leave this lineup, at least do that. At least do that, Rob. Like, come on, man. And like this again, I know guys who we see our boy Michael Papnick in there, fire Robbie. I'll sit there and go, it's hard to fire a guy who has the semi-success that he's had. But at the same time, I find him as annoying as you guys do sometimes too with some of the moves they make, and some of his moves he makes, because sometimes it works. It's like it's not pretty. You know what I mean? I've compared him and Nick Sirianni. They have success, but what they do is sometimes aggravating, nauseating, and just not typical, but the success is there to a point. Now the Phillies have not got the ultimate success, so I get the annoyance with Rob Thompson. If Rob Thompson is listening right now, the only thing I could tell you right now is change that dynamic just a little bit. They can do it, and you know what? The team will have more fun.
Yeah,
tell me that's just not fun baseball right there. I know hitting home runs is what the MLB wants, and they want guys who are going to, crush the ball 500 plus feet. Don't get me wrong, Schwarber's going to do that. But if you got like double steals coming out there, getting like, what's it like the Cubs or something used to do? They would cause a pickle to happen and get other guys to score, get them on base. Like it was like manufactured. Like they knew that one guy was going to get out, but they knew by doing this that they were going to cause some disruption, and one guy's going to get on base, the other guy's going to score, and the other guy's going to get out because he's going to clog up the time with them because they're going to try to keep him in that pickle. You know what I mean? Like or the guy from second's going to move to third. Like you have to think outside the box a little bit. That's what the other teams do. The Dodgers have that ability for home run. They have that clutch and showy and a lot of other players. You know what I mean? But they're dangerous because they'll just put the ball in play.
Yeah.
And that's what makes them dangerous. And you know what? Pitching staff-wise, they have a good pitching staff, but I'll take the Phillies pitching staff over the Dodgers pitching staff. So you just got to play some better ball. It's that simple. And again, small ball. Bottom line, small ball. Be smart about it.
Yeah, smart. I mean, you get that runner on third, you get a sac fly opportunity. You get one more run would have been fine there. I mean, but to sit back and have potential with those two on the bases and do nothing. And then it looked like that's what he was doing. He was relying on Harper and Schwarber to just hit a home run. We don't got to get creative. Let's just go with what we know. And then it ends up being back-to-back strikeouts, and they're in a situation that they're in. So there was an opportunity. And now, granted, Bohm followed up with a 3-run home run, and all's right in the world. But,
yeah,
you had your heavy hitters coming up. Give them more of an opportunity, man, and just create havoc on those base pads. And but yeah, I just saw that opportunity, and I was just like, really, like, yeah, this is what concerns me about this team.
Yeah. So that is our Broad Street bottom line. Right now, guys, we're going to take a trip around the bases. All right, guys. Again, one of those who are new to the show, a trip around the bases. We look at all the scoreboards, ones that are going on, ones that could be going on later tonight, as well as the ones that have went final. So I'll take you around that trip. And the only segment you will not see tonight, because it only happens on Sundays with Matty B, is Down on the Farm segment, because he's going to take you to a trip to the minor leagues to talk about who's up and coming and who to keep your eye on. And this year's probably going to be a real fun one with some of the guys out there. But right now, the only teams have not played yet are the Dodgers in Arizona, who go on at 8:30. I believe that might be on one of them's on ESPN. I don't know if it's this one or not. No, that's on NBC. Cleveland and Seattle. In Seattle, they haven't played yet. They're not until 10:10 tonight. But final, the Mets beat the Pirates 11-7. Milwaukee beat Chicago 14-2. That's right. The Brewers beat on the White Sox 14. Way to come out of the gate swinging, White Sox.
Yeah, I mean, usually they let them down. Usually they hold the fans in there until at least Memorial Day. Good God. Jesus Christ, man.
Took the Cubs to the shed 10-4. The final of that one. Baltimore, Minnesota had a tight game. Baltimore wins 2-1. Boston beat Cincinnati 3-0. The Angels beat the Astros 3-0, and Detroit beat up on San Diego. Nick Castellanos out there crying out there in San Diego land, 8-2. Tampa Bay lost to St. Louis 9-7, and of course your Phillies won 5-3 over the Texas Rangers. So half the team is 500. Half the league is 500. The other half the team is 0. So there you go. So. That is your trip around the bases. And speaking around the bases, so when Alec Boehm hit that 3-run home run, you might have seen him kind of Alec Boehm like lip something when he was coming around third, and I believe it was "Take That, Mom and Dad," because during the well, I guess the hour and a half before the game. The Inquirer drops a story that Alec Boehm is suing his parents. Now, if you don't subscribe to the Inquirer, which I don't, you can't click on and read about it. But I did see John Boy Media put it out that the Phillies third baseman is alleging that that his parents mismanaged his finances and is seeking a judgment of $3 million against his parents. The Mr. and the only quote he has is Mr. and Mrs. Boehm love their son very much and are deeply saddened by the allegations. Either you have a lot of proof or you got a lot of balls to do this, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I just kind of a story that literally came out of left field. Pardon the pun. I'm reading it now. They took money, his money, and they funneled it into their own personal accounts, which they of course ended up using for their own use. It's happened while he was an adult, I'm trying to add up the timeline of when Alec Boehm was getting paid as a minor to play baseball, which he wasn't. And I don't think the portal was something back when he was coming through Nebraska. So this must have been during his pro time. And they funneled money away. They took it out of his account. Man, it sounds like my parents. Good God, no. I mean, I don't even know what to.
My thing is when it comes to money, especially money like that. I love my family, and there's probably my father would be one of the very few people I would trust to do it. And it's not even just trust. It's like if something does go wrong, you don't just ruin the relationship with you and a financial manager. This is going to be an awkward Thanksgiving at the Boehm residence. That's all I got to point out.
I mean, they'll be giving him a bill to pay at the end of the night. I mean, listen, Al. I mean, this is. This is hard, man. This is parents. I mean, if you can't trust your parents. Who can you trust?
And you know what? I've never seen an article or something about a Philly sports something come out where the comment sections are so split. Because I'll read a couple here right now. Did they buy him sports equipment and get him to practice?
Oh, come on,
man. He can drive, feed him. Now he's publicly embarrassing them.
Oh,
JFC dude, prick. Well, listen, there's a difference.
So what? I think they're claiming money. They're cashing in on the gas money they spent driving them to Little League practice. Come on, man.
Driving them to China. I mean, $3 million. Like, here's my thing.
Right.
Here's my thing. If my son and ever watch like internet reels and all that, one of the one I see a lot of, and it really kind of hits home a little bit, is Steve Harvey. Right, he's a comedian, the guy who runs the Family Feud and all that stuff. Funny guy. I love Steve Harvey. He talks about his father, right? How proud his father was and all that. And he goes, there's only one man, and he's in this podcast or whatever, and he's other guys he's friends with around him. He's like, there's only one man in the world that wants to see you do better than him, and that's your father, right? And he kind of points out, goes, hey, buddy, I like you. Like, hey, Maddie, I really like you. I don't want you to do better than me. I want you to be good and be successful, but not be better than me. But like, if my son became a Major League Baseball player, I'm not asking for a cent. Now, if he wants, if I became a Major League Baseball player and I got the contract, I'm getting the money. Yeah, mom and dad, I'm paying your house off. We're buying you a new house. We're getting you a summer house. I'm doing something for you. Don't get me wrong. Now, again, they're already painting him out to be the bad guy sometimes. And then you get people like this. I don't know what's worse, suing your parents or your parents scamming you. I would say scamming, because if you have to sue them because they're scamming, that's definitely the worst part of it.
Oh, absolutely. And I didn't see Carl Crawford sitting up in the stands, going, I'm about to get paid. No, I mean, he's reveling in the moment of his son getting into the major leagues and probably thinking back on all the personal sacrifice that he made and feeling a sense of pride and accomplishment because his son is standing down there on a Major League Baseball field. Now, granted, Carl Crawford was a major leaguer, but still, it's the same type of pride that you would feel. Probably you would feel more pride if you weren't a major league player and your son or daughter ended up getting to the top level of their chosen sport or career field. I ain't going to be sitting there with a calculator going, well, I remember back in 1995 when I spent $10 on an ice cream cone for you and your friend Joe. That's absolutely ridiculous that somebody would retort that comment like that and try to play that card.
There are people out there who believe, and I've dealt with these people in my lifetime, who had successful family members, not just athletes, like doctors, lawyers, big time, whose parents felt like they could easily go, hey, I need $5,000. I need $3,000 because I brought you up. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be successful. There is people out there who are like that.
I would never ask my children for a cent.
Well, that's you and me. I'm just saying.
I'd starve and go cold before I did. I would never. That would never be an option.
No, listen. If you're about to lose the house and all that stuff, and your son's making
millions of dollars, I would never do that.
Hear me out. If you're losing your house, you and your wife, because you made some whatever mistakes or your finances or whatever they are, and your son's a millionaire, and you could ask him to help you, that's one thing. My question is, what do they know? What were they doing with this money? It's much deeper than just reading a headline. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sure it is. You
know, like did they go buy a $1 million house when they didn't need to? Did they go buy a vacation home? What did they do with it? Like, you know, that's another thing. And was he aware of it?
How could he not be aware of it? They're buying $1 million houses. You know what I mean? Unless they were investing it, funneling it away, as it says, maybe in bank accounts around the world. You're right. There's probably many layers to the story.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. There's got to be more to it before we read a headline and we got people who just want to throw things out of there. Somebody's like, is he broke? I'm like, no. I mean, it's somebody put in there. He's made almost $30 million in his career so far, I guess, like with this contract and everything. So it's a lot of money. I mean, it's almost 10% of what you made, which is, you know, you could still live off $27 million. Don't get me wrong. But it's at the same time, it's the principle. Like you said, if my parents are taking money from me unknowingly and just funneling it out like piece by piece, because that's where it's sneaky and that's where it hurts. Yeah. But maybe he should, like, the problem is when you sue somebody, it becomes public record.
Mm-hmm.
So once somebody came out about it, the Inquirer didn't have to post about that. It's probably, I don't want to say this happens a lot, but there's probably a lot of discrepancies between people. Like who was it? Who was the former Sixer whose dad was his agent? The hell's his name? I try to forget about him because he drove me.
Wasn't it Ben Simmons?
Not Ben Simmons. He was well overpaid. He was a guy they overpaid because they couldn't keep Jimmy Butler. I just completely blanked out on his name. But you know, his dad was his manager. You know what I mean? Like, so that's a problem when you deal with family like that. And some people think, not that only I birthed this child and raised this child, and some people took him to baseball games, but I also have helped him manage his money. And if you're a money manager, you do get a cut, like, so that's fine. But again, it should be something that's worked out. Now, if they're sitting there going, well, he's got $27 million, I could take a $50,000 here and $10,000 here or something and do something with it and go buy some shoes. That's where it's underhanded. So I'm not blaming Alec, and I'm not blaming him, because there's so much more. There's so many more nuances to this story.
Right. And you mentioned the whole I know Ryan Howard was represented at one time by members of his family. Eric Lindros had his dad was his agent, and that was a terrible relationship with the Flyers. But you're right though. These people shouldn't there be a contract, even though they're father, son, whatever. There's a contract involved where if they're going to do work for them, they get paid, correct?
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like, for instance, I'll use an executor to a will, right? If you're in different states, different rules and all that stuff. If you're placed as the executor to a will, that means you got to execute the will of whatever they say. Like, and even if it's like you got three, it's you're a sibling and you got two other brothers and sisters or three other whatever, and your parents are, there's $1 million, chop it up between the three of you, and that's it. As executor, you do get an extra little piece for the work. That's part of the deal. You don't have to take it especially if you're getting a third of the money anyway. But like if you're doing it and it's nobody else, you're not getting anything else. Your only job is that you're getting paid. So if daddy and mommy are his money manager, there should have been a contract drawn up, or he was just letting them go because it's your mother and your father. I don't want to. It's as awkward as to sue them. It might be almost as awkward to. Can you sign? It's like asking to sign a prenup to your wife because you're afraid she's just marrying you for your money. You know what I mean?
No, I know. I've dealt with that before. For my Indian nickel head collection, I beat the women off with a stick.
Card collection. She's coming for it, my friend.
Yeah, they're coming for my card collection.
And so, of course, somebody says, "Is that why you hit a home run today?" Yeah, that's why. Yeah. But it's, again, regardless if this is true or not, that's absolutely pathetic. What does that even mean? Yeah. Is it true or not? Is it pathetic? No, I don't think it's pathetic. If you sue your parents because you should
if they took money from them, I want my money back. God damn it! I'm suing you.
It's not even about the money back in my eyes. Like, again, especially how much if you're Bryce Harper and they took $3 million, that's a lot smaller percentage. But what I'm saying is,
it's the ethical thing.
Yeah, it's one thing of a money manager. I'm sure money managers steal all the goddamn time. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, absolutely.
But my point is, and there's supposed to be things in the way to kind of blockade that. But my point is it's your parents. It's it's a double turn of the knife.
Mm-hmm.
Not your mom, not just your dad, but both of them decided to take money without telling you. And probably I can imagine if this is the scenario, it's he's going through his finances and stuff like that, and he had maybe he has a new money manager now because he's going to get ready to sign a new contract. Maybe his agent does it or something, or has somebody does it for them, and they're looking through and they found some discrepancies and he didn't like it, and he probably confronted them and they didn't have anything to say, or maybe whatever. I mean, what they say is we're disheartened and saddened by the situation and we love him. I didn't hear him. I mean, that was just what we saw. I haven't read the whole article, but did you hear him say we didn't do it?
No. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Good point.
But yeah, I just thought it was kind of it's just funny how people are dragging his name down because of the situation. So if you're my question to these people is, if your parents wronged you, your brother, your sister, your uncle, any family member wronged you, is it a free pass? Is that how it works? You can get a free pass?
That's a great question. And again, I think that question in the nature is a loaded question because we don't know the whole story. And I'm sure, as I said, there's probably multiple layers that were involved that led him to this decision to do what he did. And maybe he tried to get the money back and tried to open up that line of communication and said, hey, please, come on, guys. I believe you. You put an extra zero where you weren't supposed to. Okay, just give that money back, or let's make it right somehow. And maybe that they just didn't do it. I'm sure there's more to this.
What's it called? A hole. It just kept getting worse and worse. He found one, and maybe he's I'm not going to sue my parents because they took $5,000. They took $10,000. But then they're sitting there going, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. And he's like, holy shit, it's $3 million.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot more to this story than this headline is letting people in on,
Other than that, a couple of the jokes we made today were the O'Neal Cruz. The Pirates just had a really bad defensive game, but O'Neal Cruz, he lost the ball twice in the sky, like just. He's a big, tall, fast guy, but yet he couldn't field center field for his life. So he'll probably be in left field quickly or DH. But like I said, I think one of the funniest things I saw today was this is the tweets that Joel Embiid put out, right? To me, it's kind of comical coming from Joel Embiid. So he had the most recent tweet before these two was from like a couple of weeks ago. So the first one, it goes, can't believe he pulled Skeens. That was number one. And then right after that, Cruz, get ready to learn DH, buddy. Coming from a guy who just took a month off on the bench.
Man, what are you going to do?
35 whatever points last night. Whatever. It's just.
I guess he feels vindicated now. I don't know.
Is this like him going, hey, look, it's not just me, guys. Like, don't notice what I'm doing. But no, I just thought it was funny that of all people, he had the cojones.
Joel, straighten up your own backyard before you go out there somebody else's stuff, man. Good God. But listen, the Skeens thing is a big story.
Yeah,
that's a big story with Skeens. He didn't make it out of the first inning. The defending back-to-back Cy Young Award winner. But again, if you guys watch that game, his stuff was fine. The defense let him down, and in a big way. Skeens will be fine.
Yeah. I don't know if you noticed that I posted the other day. Did you ever see the breakdown of Christopher Sanchez's contract?
Not all of it, but I have seen a little of it, yes.
So it's actually they kind of deferred part of it.
I did see that part.
Yeah, let me see if I pulled up. This was in.
So we're learning from the Dodgers now.
Yeah, it was in the Inquirer, or not the Inquirer. It was one of the ESPN or something. So he got his $6 million signing bonus. Next year he'll make $6 million. The following year, $9 million. 14 in 2029, 15 and 30, and then $27 million in 31 and 32. $10 million will be deferred from his 2031 to 2030 and 2032 salaries with $2 million installments. So 2031 is going every July 1st from 2035 to 2039. He'll get his $2 million, Bobby Bonilla style, and then 2032 he'll get or his 2032 $10 million will come in from 2040 to 2044.
Wow, they are Bobby Bonilla in that, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot less time. Funny, Bobby Bonilla will still be getting his money after Bryce Harper's contract.
July 1st. It's the national holiday at the Bonilla house.
Yeah, and don't forget the Dodgers will be deferring a lot of Shohei's money, and he's going to be getting like $70 million if 10 years after his contract is done.
That's what gets me kind of confused. People were up in arms about the deferred strategy of this. It's been going on for years. The players have been getting deferred money. Bobby Bonilla is the poster boy of that. Brzalov, the goalie from the Flyers, played his contract falls off this year, finally.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And he played a half a season like 15 years ago, and he was getting paid all the way up till now. So this has been going on in sports for years. So, dance with the devil, and this is what happens. But, it's a strategy. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. As Bobby Bonilla's case, it didn't work.
The devil now, and in my eyes, it's they're gonna they could win 3-4 World Series in the next few years, but when 2035 and 2040 come around, they might be at the bottom of the barrel for all we know.
Yeah, but and you're sitting at home.
A picture of the entire Crawford family and friends who came to the ballpark today.
God damn.
To see Justin play his first MLB game.
That's how you do it in style, right there.
Yeah, J.P. Crawford kind of looks good in the Phillies red. I gotta point that out.
Now, with that big of an entourage, because I noticed they were all sitting in like GP, general population. They were out there in the stadium. They can't put them in the box with that many people.
40 people. I think a box is like 20 people.
They do 2. I guess they're not going to give them 2 because they don't want to lose the money. Yeah.
I mean, maybe they gave the dad and the mom free tickets. Maybe he got like 5 or 10 free tickets, but the rest of it was paid by everybody. They all paid their tickets and they all sat in the same area. So maybe they said, "Hey, give us, a little discount. We'll buy a section here instead of giving us free tickets in the parent section." Because usually the wives and those who don't know, so I used to have a connection down at the Philly Stadium, and you think about above the Diamond Club. If you're looking at home plate, looking into the Diamond Club, right? So right above the where you walk into the back part of the Diamond Club, right above there, that's the visitors section right there. That's where the opposing teams get tickets, and then they open them up if when they give their tickets back if they don't use it all. Dude, I used to sit there all the time because a friend of mine, she ran that club, that part of the tickets for years, and she would just pretty much. I had season tickets. I just didn't have to pay for season tickets. So she'd go, "Hey, I got tickets for the next 5 games. Do you want them?" And they're like, I paid like nothing for them. Like I was paying squat because they were free. And by the way, as a young guy, it was all the wives.
Right.
Just a bunch of good-looking baseball player wives. I'm just sitting there going, if you like saw a picture of me, here's this guy sitting there and like these like supermodels all sitting around him. Like, I'm like taking like selfies, like whatever. I'm sitting there like, oh yeah, just hanging out with some of my friends here,
Yeah, that's what I would have been doing. Because I know when Cody Clemens, right, when Roger would come, he was up in the Diamond Club, I believe. They always showed him inside somewhere.
Yeah. Well, they like I said, it's pretty cool that they were able to get all that people. By the way, for also another piece of news today, today would have been the 90th birthday of Harry Kellis.
Well, they honored it by taking his name off his deck.
Yeah, they put a statue, or they did something by the statue. I think it's his son was there. One of the Cade.
Yeah, he sang the national anthem.
Justin Crawford. So on Patterson just put this. Justin Crawford said his mom tried to order a cheesesteak with no meat at Skinny Joe's because she's vegan.
I wouldn't even eat the bread. The bread's probably got meat in it, man. Stay away from that.
Or at least touched it. I mean, bread's got like, if you're vegan, some bread has eggs in it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you can't even eat that. So like my daughter's vegan, so I kind of know the rules. But overall, that is your game today. The Phillies have won 5-3 to start the season off with a W. They come back on Saturday.
Yep.
And I think is it
Nola versus DeGrom.
Nola and DeGrom. Why do you think DeGrom didn't get the start?
I was puzzled by that all week. I never even checked. I just assumed that he would go today. And then when I saw it was what's his face, I was like, what? I mean, I don't know what the I don't know where the maybe they're lining it up so DeGrom can pitch the home opener at home. I don't know, but I don't know why DeGrom didn't get it today. I assumed he was the ace of that staff, and but whatever. We'll see him on Saturday.
Yes, Nola versus DeGrom. Nola coming off a pretty good WBC, as well as a little bit in the back in spring training. So if he can carry that over, like I said, all I need Nola to be is a good 3 or even a 2, but do it from the 3 hole.
Yep.
Because once Wheeler comes back, everybody's going to push back a little bit.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. So that means Painter will be going Tuesday?
Tuesday against the Nationals.
So that'd be interesting.
Yep.
All right. Well, other than that, guys, on behalf of Matty B and myself, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Go Phils, ring that bell, all that fun stuff. And the Fighting's final will be back on Saturday.
It will.
I will be. Are you on tonight?
No, I'm not. So no. I'll be back on Monday with the final word. You're tomorrow, right?
Yep, I'm back.
Doing your last
last
Friday show without a post game attached to it.
Yes. So for those who know, my Friday show will be kind of fluid based on the Phillies games.
Yes. Be very clear about that.
So it was like 4:00 game, which is an odd Friday 4:00 game.
Yeah.
So the final will be a little later than usual after the game, but we'll keep you all up on the schedule on that.
Yes. Please pay attention to the schedule and be open minded because it's going to change literally maybe of the day. That's just how it's going to be for now. But yeah, then so you're back tomorrow. Mike's on tonight here with Clear the Ice.
Tuesday too. So do I get the game? Do I get Andrew Painter game? I think
you
so.
get the Painter game. Yeah.
Yes.
So let's do the math. So you got Nola 2, Luzardo 3. That's Sunday. Monday would be Walker 4, and then Painter will be 5 on Tuesday.
All right.
Yeah, you get the Painter game.
You better not S the bed. But here's the clear the ice left now. Tonight, of course, Mikey Lauro with the Blackhawks. Saturday, Matty's back with the Red Wings game. And the Dallas Stars, Mike's favorite, Dallas Stars. He's a closet Dallas Stars fan.
Yes, he is.
On Sunday, of course, Sunday we will have our show, the Philly AM show, and then as you said, was it Monday or Tuesday? You were back.
I'll be back on Monday.
Monday. Okay.
Yep, I'm back on Monday.
So here's the rest of the schedule. Maybe I should just pull this up from the
I was there. That would have helped out. Yeah, but that's it. This is what we're doing. Instead of we're not just making this up; it actually is written down somewhere. So, but this is how it's going to play out for the rest of the weekend. Busy weekend, as it will be probably much between now and November, and then you're going to factor in the start of the football season at some point. So it's a sprint to Thanksgiving, I guess.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, guys, thank you for joining us. Like I said, he's Matty B. I'm Big Al, and we will see you all next time.
See ya.